We're doing our high resistance bands today, so keep those handy. And then let's get going. So base of the big toe, base of the toe and the heel. Find that start position with the pelvis and switch those tummy muscles on. Shoulders back and down, head nice and long. And then start off, toy soldier feet swapping one side to the other. Add in your alternate arm to leg, reaching up to the ceiling. Brilliant. One more either side. And then bring both arms forward and up to the top onto the toes. And then all the way back and down. Go again, up to the top. All the way back and down. One more. Brilliant. Okay, so then let's grab our band. Let's start with the band underneath the feet. So shoulders back and down, bending the elbows as our starting point. So, good. Good. And then bring the arms out to the side. And then we've got a little friend here. Quite something. No way of getting here without being on camera. Okay, shoulders back and down. And bring those arms out to the side. Good. Last two. Good. Then cross the band across the front. Keep hold. Shoulders back and down. And then we're going to hope that all the bands stay intact here. So we're going to step away and step two. So walking across the room. When you get to a place of no return, come back the other way. So I'm going to come back. So we're looking at the hips with this one. Lovely. And then we'll go back again. If you do more, you start to feel it around the outside of the hip. Good. And then we'll go back to the center where we started. Brilliant. Okay. So we're going to take one step back. So one leg out of the band. Uncross the band at the front. And then we're going to drop down into a lunge. So drop that back knee down towards the floor, bending the elbows at the same time, keeping that balance. Good. One last one. Lovely. So then bring the band across the front of that front leg, shoulders back and down, and then really onto the toe. Get a nice lunge going through that front leg. Shoulders back and down, push back for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Brilliant. So we'll swap over onto the other side. Bring that left leg back this time. Shoulders back and down. Drop down into that lunge. Near to the floor if you can. Straighten up. Good, one last one. Brilliant, and then cross the band across the front. Get a lovely lunge through on that front leg, straight at the back, shoulders back and down, push back for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Brilliant. Okay, so grab that band, pop it around the back of the shoulders, feet hip width apart, and then nice and open through the collarbones as you bring those arms out to the side. Good. Good. And then a bit of gentle stretch, and then into a twist. But keep those arms so they're in that position where they're staying out to the side and the trunk does all the twist. One more each side. Brilliant. And then wiggle those shoulders back and down. Get rid of your bands. Bring those feet a bit wider apart. And that side bend and reach up and over the top. And then back. Side bend the other way. Up and over the top. Good. And then bring yourself down forward. Bring those hands onto the floor. Let your head relax and just do a little dangle there, relaxing the back of the neck. And then relax through the jaw as well. Give those jaws a little bit of a shift from right to left, just to make sure you're not holding tension. Then stack those vertebrae one on top of the other, shoulders back and down at the top. Bring those feet back to hip width apart. Tuck your chin in, soften the knees on this one, and see if you can bring your hands down onto the floor again. Breath in to hold, and then stack those vertebrae one on top of the other. Shoulders back and down at the top. Good. So then come down into line on your back on the mat. Check in my foot stays in the frame. Okay, feet and knees together. Find that start position with the pelvis. Switch those tummy muscles on and bring those arms out to the side. Breath in to prepare, both knees to the right, head to the left. And then all the way back, knees to the left, head to the right. Good. So then, back to the center, into your double tabletop, feet and knees together, and then keep going with those hip twists. All the way back. Through your start position, and get those knees over the other way. Think about the obliques on this one. Bringing those knees back. You use those muscles at the side of the trunk to help you along. Good. One last one. And then back to the center. Leave those legs in your double tabletop with feet hip width apart. Bring the arms to 90 degrees. Take that right foot to the floor. Slide away and bring those arms above your head. Round in a big circle back to your start position. Left foot. Reach away. And then back round. Good. Good. One last one. Bring the hands onto the hips. So still in that hip width apart position, squash those ribs down. Then take the right knee and foot out to the side. Get a lovely opening through the front of the hip, back to the center, and then the left. Good. One more either side. Lovely. Then take those knees to your chest and do a little rock from side to side. We're going to grab our band. Place the band around the right foot. We're going to start off by just pushing that right leg away and bring that heel to the floor. So just to start with, you're just thinking about keeping those ribs pressed down and that nice connection through to the pelvis. As you push that leg away, think about straightening the knee so the quadriceps work and then getting the glutes working as you bring that heel to the floor. Then bring the other leg into your tabletop as well. So then push away, heel to the floor. Good. So really focus on those glutes doing some work. Good. One last one. And then lift and lower for 10. 1, 2, 3. Get those glutes working on that. Take that downward movement. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Back to the center. Place both sides of the band around the outside of that right knee and place the left foot on the floor. Really keep the tension through the band as you push that leg out to the side, working through that hip. So you're opening out, pushing against the resistance of the band, keeping that knee and foot in alignment and keeping the pelvis nice and still. Good. One last one. Perfect. So then bring that leg, get it nice and straight, and really think about getting that length through the hamstring. And then we're going to do some circles with the foot on the ceiling. Again, the pelvis stays nice and still. Go back the other way with your circle. Lovely. And then let's swap over with the band. Put the band on the left. Okay. So, going to start off by taking that left leg away, heel to the floor. So just getting a feel of getting those ribs pressed down, that connection down through the pelvis. Getting the knee nice and straight. Those quads switched on and those glutes working on the descent. Good. Then bring the other leg into tabletop. Keep those ribs pressed down, push away, heel to the floor. Good. Let's do two more. And then on the next one, we'll lift and lower for 10. So push that leg away. Take that heel to the floor, lift and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lovely. And then bring that band around the outside of that left leg. Bring that right foot back down onto the floor. And we're going to work into our hip thrust. So keep the band still. So as you work into that range of movement, you've got more and more looking into that, moving into that resistance. Keep the pelvis still. And the more you do, the more you're really working that hip. Last 2. Good. So then, bring yourself into that straight leg. Straighten the knee as much as you can, and then circle around the hip. Good. Go the other way. Perfect. Then bend the knee. Put the other foot in there as well. Feet and knees together. Add in, if you like, some abdo prep. The choice is yours. We're going to do some double leg stretch. So you're holding on, pushing away with both feet, straightening the knees. So the abdo prep's an option, not one I'm taking. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. So then, out of your abdo prep, cross the band across the front, shoulders back and down, and then push back for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then straighten the legs. Go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees. Adding to abdo prep as an option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Little breather. Straighten the legs. Go again. Oh, abdo prep option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then back down. And then just take those knees to your chest and that little rock from side to side. Good work. So then come up into sitting. Tie the band around the thighs there. In a bow, if possible. And then bring those knees to hip width apart. Okay, so feet not too near your bottom. Pelvis really switched on, so those muscles are switched on so that pelvis doesn't shift from side to side. And then take that right knee out to the side for 10. 1. So you're working against the resistance of the band, but you'll also find that the leg that's staying nice and still is working quite hard. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Go back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. So then let's come into our double tabletop. Switch those tummy muscles on. Bring your hands behind your head. And then come into that abdo prep. So lifting up from the rib cage, head and shoulders off the mat. And then back down. Keeping that gentle pressure out to the side against the band. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Rest that head back down. And then thinking about bringing those that leg out to the side. So the same as we did with the feet on the floor. Going to do a set of 10. I've got my hands on my hips just to monitor the pelvis isn't moving. Start with the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And then the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Brilliant. So bring those feet back down. We're going to come into our shoulder bridge. So, sneaking back down the mat a little bit. Get that gentle pressure out to the side with the knees, and then flatten the back and peel up into that shoulder bridge, opening up through those hips. Good. Breath in to hold at the top and then back down. And then go again. So you're going up on the out breath. In breath to hold. Back down on the next out breath. So get some real length through the quadriceps at the front. So really push those knees to the opposite side of the room so you get that lovely stretch through the front of the thighs and then back down. Good. On the next one, coming up to the top, and then push that right knee out to the side for 10. Keeping those hips lifted, don't let them sink down. 2, 3, 4, it's a good one for the glutes, this one, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then stay there, do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And then back down. Take those knees to your chest. Little rock from side to side there. And then stretch those feet away with those arms overhead. Really stretch to the opposite side of the room. Bend at the ankles so those calves get a stretch as well. And then come up into sitting. We're going to undo our band. While we're in sitting, we're going to do that other knot. So where you fold the end third, tie a knot that's going to be a foot-sized loop. So you've got your loop here. So I'm going to leave that for a second, but just bring that across the front of the mat. And then bring your arm along underneath your towel. Feet, bum, shoulders all lined up against the back of the mat. And then you've got that little gap underneath your waist there. Okay, so we're going to start off with our level 1 climb. So take that top knee up out to the side and then back down. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So a little bit of blend through that hip. Lift those feet into that level 2 position and keep going. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. So leave that top leg lifted. We're going to fold forward into our side kick. Knee to chest. Take that leg back through that range of movement, extending through the hip. Good. One last one. And then bring that leg level with the other leg. And then just lift that top foot to the ceiling, keeping the knees parallel. And then back to the center. So working those internal rotators. Good, one last one. Brilliant, and give those hips a bit of a rub. Good work. Okay, so we're just going to pop that band on the foot. Okay, so then you've got your knee bent, you're still in that clam start position, and we're just going to bring the band across the front of the top knee just to add some resistance and lift that top knee and then back down. So keep the hand just rested on the mat. So the further you go, the more resistance you've got. Good, one last one. Then bring that band across the front and straighten that top leg out and get that little bit of length through that top hip. So you've got that gap under your waist again. And then forward and back into a resisted side kick. So as you bring the leg back, bend at the ankle and really encourage that glute to do some work. Good. So then just bend that knee, grab the band a bit further down. So you're going to have some more resistance on the band. So you're going to lift that leg to hip height, more resistance on the band, lead with the ankle and push that leg away. Oh, resisting. I'm not having that much resistance, too hard. So push away, straight leg. So this is a real glute exercise. So you keep the knee parallel to the floor, you push the foot away to the opposite side of the room, and you're straightening that hip. Good. Last one. Lovely. Okay, let's have a little breather. Oh, I think on Monday I did the arm openings in between these, so just to give us a break, but never mind. Straighten both legs out. Now holding on to the end of the band. And then we're going to lift and lower with that top leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And then lift that leg to hip height, lower leg to join. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And both legs back down. And then we're going to lift and hold. So really get those glutes working. Lift that top leg, lift that bottom leg, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bend the knees and give those hips a bit of a rub there. Good work. Okay, let's squish the towel up and bring those arms through into our arm openings. So one arm on top of the other. Take that top arm up over the top and get that lovely stretch front of the shoulder, middle of the back, and then back. Good. One last one. And then back. Good. So we're going to bring the towel to the other end of the mat. We're going to get rid of our band. And leave that in readiness for later. And then back into our plank start position. So bring that arm long underneath the towel, feet, bum, shoulders all lined up against the back of the mat. Sneak yourself down a bit. And then find that start position and a bit of length through that top hip. So focusing on that muscle at the back of the hip into your level 1 thigh. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then lift those legs into that level 2 position and then go again. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So rest that bottom leg down. Keep that top leg lifted and then fold into your side kick. Knee towards your chest, then through that range of movement, extending through the hip. Good. One last one. And then we're going to leave that leg lifted, but with those knees parallel. You can keep the hand on the hip just to monitor that the pelvis is staying still, and then you're going to get those muscles around the hip working. You want to keep the knees parallel and take that foot to the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And then drop that leg down, give those hips a bit of a rub there. Good work. Okay, so then into sitting, while you put your loop around your top foot. To bring your arm long underneath the towel. Keep those feet stacked, feet, bum, shoulders all lined up against the mat, and then grab the end of the band, and you're just resting that hand down on the mat. The band's coming across that top thigh, and we're working into our level 1 climb again. Bit harder this time. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So then we're going to stretch that band a bit more. Straighten the leg, get some length through the top hip, and then into our side kick. So point the foot on the way forward, bend at the ankle on the way back, keeping that leg parallel to the floor and keeping the knee nice and straight through the movement. Good. 2 more. Brilliant. So then, bend the knees. Just going to get a bit more stretch on the band. So, straighten that leg. And then you're going to bend the knee parallel to the other knee. And then push away to straight. Making sure you get a lovely straight hip and knee. This is a tough one. Good. One last one. Lovely. Have a breather. We're going to move our hand down that band. Give those hips a bit of a rub if you think they're doing a lot of work. And then you're going to straighten that straighten both legs out. Switch those tummy muscles on, get some length through the front of the body, and then lift and lower with that top leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And then lift that top leg to hip height, lower leg to join. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Both legs back down. Little breather. Switch the glutes on. And then you're going to lift both legs and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bend the knees. Bring your arms through into your arm opening. So just squish that towel up. One arm on top of the other. And then take that top arm up over the top. Get that lovely stretch. Front of the shoulder, middle of the back. And then back. Out breath. In breath to hold. And then out breath. One more. Brilliant. Okay, so then we're going to turn onto our front, but before we do that, take the knot out of your band. And then place the band across the mat at about mid-thigh when you're lying on the mat. So we're going to start off with our cobra stretch. So with your hands underneath the shoulders, and then either coming up onto the elbows or straight arms, keeping those shoulders down. Breath in to hold, and then back down. Good. One last one. And then just slide those arms out above your head, shoulders back and down, lifting the elbows. And then you're just going to lift your right arm with the left leg. Back down, left arm, right leg. So keep the elbows lifted. Just puts you in a nice position to use the back of the shoulder. One more on the side. And then bring your hands down by the side. Palms facing upwards. And just grab onto that band. We're going to take the shoulders back and down. And you're going to push the band up towards the ceiling and out to either side of the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So then, unweight the forehead. Keep those tummy muscles working. Go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Breather, and then a second set. Shoulders back and down. Switch the tummy muscles on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we'll do one final set. Shoulders back and down. Unweight the forehead. Go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Brilliant. So come up then into 4-point kneeling onto hands and knees. We're going to start off by arching the back, dropping back onto the heels and reaching those arms forward. And then just going to do a little stretch through the wrists. So either just bringing your weight over the wrist to get a bit of a stretch there, or you can turn the wrists the other way round. It's up to you. Depends on your flexibility. You just get a lovely stretch through there. Good. And then turn them the correct way round. And let's start with some cat camel. So you're just going to push the hands away, arch the upper back, drop the head down. Then you're going to drop the tummy down and then lift the head up. Just stretching the front of the body. So this one, you're pushing the hands away. You're activating the muscles behind the shoulder blade, getting a nice stretch. And then you're letting all those muscles stretch at the front. Let's do one more. Back to the center. And then we're going to push that. So you've got your knees underneath your hips. You're going to push that right leg away. Lift and lower for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Fold back in, swap over, left leg, lift and lower for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Fold back in. Come on to the toes. And then lift off the knees. Holding there. So you've got that lovely position with the shoulder blades. And then back down. Okay. Bring the hands a bit further forward. So we're going to lift up off the knees and then bring the weight over the hands and drop the hips down. But remember, don't overextend through those elbows. Hold it there into that lovely plank position and then back down with those knees. So remember, we've got that lovely position with the shoulder blades where we're pushing the hands away on the mat to keep those shoulder blades nice and stabilized. We're going to lift off our knees again. Come over the top of the hands, drop the hips down. Don't let the elbows overextend, and then just gently push away with the hands so you're just really keeping stable through the shoulders. Good. And then back down, knees down. Release off those wrists. You can give them a little breather, drop back onto the heels, give them a stretch in the opposite direction. Perfect. There. I'm going to finish off in this position with the downward dog, so come onto the toes. Push up to the ceiling. Really push it onto the toes and then straighten the back. Get those heels down then if you can. Give that head a little shake again. Just relax off the tension that you've got in the back of the neck. You don't need it. And then just take a couple of breaths in this position. Good. And then bring those knees back down. Fantastic. Grab a towel and then turn over onto your back. And then we'll just start off with a couple of stretches through the legs. So starting off, right leg, hamstring stretch, circle with the foot. Go both ways. Get that lovely stretch at the back of the thigh. Good. And then take that right leg across the left knee, open through the hip. And then lift. Good. So you get that lovely stretch through the back of that right hip. And then back down, and then take that left leg, reach that up to the ceiling. Circle with the hip, with the foot. Go back the other way. And take that left leg across the right knee. And then lift that right leg. Good. So then come up into sitting. So knees to chest. Come up into sitting. Bring those feet together. Drop those knees out to the side. Shoulders back and down. Put your head back on top of your neck. Nice and straight. Get that length at the back of the neck and side bend with the head. And then back and then go the other way. One more each way. Good. And then straighten both legs out. And then fold forward. Reach for those toes, but let the head relax. See if you can get that down towards the knees. And relax through the back of the neck as well. Good. So then come up onto the feet. And then see if you can stand up. And then do that roll up. All the way back to the top. Good. So then feet hip width apart, both arms forward and up to the top. Reach up with one and reach up with the other. And then hands behind your head and then backward bend. Back to the middle. Shrug, let go. Arms up to the top and then all the way back down. Brilliant. Perfect. Well done, everybody. Good work.